today, I had this class with one of my students, as I normally do, on Sundays, and we went through this topic, which I think would be a pretty good topic about travel. So we did a topic about travel, the ease of travel around the world. This is a part two to the previous topic that I did, where is travel always a good thing? So what we're going to do today is go through this topic, breaking down vocabulary so that people can understand it, vocabulary, reading, and also conversation questions. So actually, on another note, I remember a conversation I had with someone that watched my videos, and they asked, do you read all the time in your classes? And I had to tell them, no, I don't read in my classes. All I do is assist with reading. But saying that I do not have any students with me when I'm doing these videos, I normally would read the reading exercise that I normally have when it comes to doing these videos. So if I have you as a student, you are going to be the one that is really doing the reading. I will just help and assist when it comes to dealing with words you may not know or may not have heard for the first time, and also with trying to explain these words or certain things that people may not understand. All right, so what I will do is that I will start here with the vocabulary first. So first word we have is accessible. Now, accessible is a more advanced word to saying that you're easy to reach or use. So if I say that something is accessible, is basically that I can basically use it, touch it, have it very quickly. All right, so easy to reach or use. Next word is affordable, not expensive and cheap. So if I say something is affordable, it means that it's basically cheap or it doesn't cost too much money. So shopping at maybe H&M, shopping at certain stores can be pretty affordable. Buying flights on certain days can be affordable. Taking short trips are normally affordable, right? So they're normally cheap, they're not expensive. All right. Next one will be attraction. Attraction, a place that visitors or tourists visit. Place that tourists or visit. All right. Border, the line between two countries, or in different places, states or provinces. All right. So border could be a line between two countries, state or parish, or provinces, or even in other countries, parishes. So that is what it is. Carbon emissions. Carbon emissions, gases released into the air, often from vehicles that harm the environment. So these are things that, for example, what comes out of your car if you don't have an electric car, these will be carbon emissions. Eco-friendly, not harmful to the environment. So things that are not harmful to the environment. High speed, moving very fast, especially when talking about trains. So high speed trains. The most important document when traveling, your passport. Passport is a document that allows people to travel to other countries. Now, next word we have here is scenic. Scenic, offering beautiful natural views. Technology, machines, devices, and software used to solve problems or improve life. So these are some of the vocabulary words that we'll see. Obviously, as it normally happens with my documents that I normally put together, is that they will have some vocabulary words that I point out at the start, but then in the reading there'll be a couple more that may need a little bit more explaining. So let's go on to the reading. So Topic for today: the ease of travel around the world and Europe. Traveling around the world has become easier than ever before. In the past, people needed to plan long journeys by ship or train, which could take weeks or even months. Now, with modern technology and transportation, we can travel to different countries in just a few hours by plane. This has changed the way people experience the world. One of the main reasons why travel has become easier is the availability of affordable flights. Many airlines now offer low cost tickets, making it possible for more people to visit different countries. Whether it's for a holiday or work, finding cheap flights online has made travel much more accessible. Technology has played a big role in making travel easier. With apps and websites, travelers can book flights, hotels, and transportation for with just a few clicks. They can also check the weather, find tourist attractions, and even translate languages. This has made planning trips much simpler and less stressful. In Europe, travel is especially convenient thanks to open borders between many countries. The Schengen Agreement allows people to travel freely across 27 European countries without needing a passport for each one. This makes it easy to visit multiple countries in a single trip, which is a big advantage for tourists and business travelers. In addition to planes, Europe has an excellent train system that connects most cities and regions. High speed trains can take you from Paris to London or from Berlin to Prague in just a few hours. Trains are a popular choice for travelers who want to enjoy the scenic views and avoid the hassle of airports. From those who enjoy driving, road trips are another option. In Europe, you can easily rent a car and drive across borders to explore different countries at your own pace. The highways are well maintained and there are many scenic routes to discover. Road trips offer flexibility and allow travelers to visit smaller towns and hidden gems. While traveling has become more convenient, there are also concerns about the environment. Planes, in particular, contribute to carbon emissions which affect climate change. Some travelers are now choosing more eco friendly ways to travel, such as trains or buses, to reduce their carbon footprint. Looking to the future, travel is expected to become even easier. New technology, like electric planes and self-driving cars, could make travel faster, cheaper, and more environmentally friendly. As countries work together to improve transportation, the world will continue to become a smaller and more connected place. So this was what I did today on this topic, the ease of travel around the world. Now, in this here, I do have some things here that won't really make sense. And this was really for pronunciation, helping with pronunciation. So well-maintained. So I put a space in between here to help with the breaking down of how to pronounce this word. Another word I would have done this with earlier would have been this word. So I'll break it down here. This word, we say contribute. All right. So we put that just to break it down to help with the pronunciation of these words. All right. Let's see if there's another word I did it. Oh, I did it here as well. This word here. So agreement. All right. Agreement. So let me go through and see what other words that might be a little bit. Oh, this was another word too that I had broken down that my clients can hear and see the difference and how it sounds when I say it versus when they say. So it's convenient. All right. So convenient now. If I go through this one now, convenient means that something is basically easy. It's like, oh, it's so convenient. It's so easy to do, easy to get. All right. So let's say having a store 5 minutes away is so convenient. Going to the grocery store and it's only 5 minutes away, that would be so convenient. All right. So that is something that I would say. Next word. So we got convenient, hassle. Oh, this one is a word that people may not know, but once you explain it, I know people will start to get it. So hassle. Hassle is let's think of an airport. When we go to the airport, we have to go and deal with, let's say, customs. We have to go through TSA. We have to go through customs. We have to go through all these things, or all these agencies, or procedures that we have to go through just to get on an airplane. And because of that, it can be what we call a hassle. So it's like an irritating inconvenience, or it's something that makes the process of getting onto a plane so much harder than just leaving the airport and walking straight onto a plane. All right. So that is what it means by hassle. All right. So it's like it becomes a struggle. It becomes a problem just to get on this plane. So we have to take off our shoes, we have to take off our belt, we have to take our laptop, our devices out of our bag just to get on a plane. Then we have to put them back into the bag after we got scanned our body to see if we have anything on our body. Then we have to go and put our shoes back on, put our belt on, take all of our electronics and put it back. And so it can be a hassle. Versus if you decide to take a train, you just pay for a ticket and get onto the train. You don't have to go through all of those problems, right? So that is what the word hassle will mean there. All right. So let's see, well-maintained. So well-maintained means that it is something that is well taken care of. So for example, some people's cars, oh my God, it is crazy how well some people maintain their cars. It's like their second child, or their child in some cases. Or in some cases, if you've gone to a girl's bedroom, it's usually well maintained. Can't really say the same for boys, but a girl's bedroom can be something that can be well maintained. All right. Telling you this because I have a sister, and whenever we went to her bedroom, it was nice. My bedroom, I can't really say the same, especially when I was a teenager. All right, so well maintained means that it's well taken care of or well laid out, clean, tidy, these kind of things. So the highways are well maintained or are taken care of, and there are many scenic routes. Now this word scenic is talking about normally places that are not normally the route of travel. So when we look at something, we call it like a scenic tour. So we're not just going directly to a place. We're going to, sometimes we are taking the longer way, right? So these are scenic. Normally also talks about some places that are more beautiful, attractive, right? So that's what we usually say, the scenic route. So scenic is usually talking about providing or relating to views of impressive or beautiful natural scenery or natural environment, right? So many scenic routes will be, so for example, if you're on a train and you're looking through the window, you can see a lot of forests, you can see animals, maybe you're passing by a farm, so you see the cows, you see all these kind of things. But if you decide to just drive, you may not take, you can't take the same roads, because obviously the train goes on the tracks and the car goes on the road, so you may not get to see everything that you will experience or get to see on a train when it comes to taking that scenic route. And with taking a scenic route, you may be able to see things that we call hidden gems. So what hidden gems are basically places or places that you are not able to see normally, or maybe not a lot of people know about them. So hidden gems can be a place that you, as a local person in the country, is very beautiful, but you do not know about it. So hidden gem is something such as a place, a person or object that is exceptionally good or very good, pleasant or valuable, but not widely known or appreciated. So I was talking with my client today, and I asked her about a place in Poland which they call the Polish Maldives. And what it is it's a little bit similar to the Maldives, as in the layout of how it looks, but it's a lot smaller. So it just looks a little bit, and it's in what we call a quarry. Yeah, I can show some pictures of it. So this is what it looks like, and you can just and it's on a quarry. You can in a park, and you can just go sit down, relax, walk around here, and your feet will be in the water. I'm gonna tell you, it is very cold, but this is an amazing place that you can just go and relax, especially in the summer. It's a nice hike and also a nice park to go and just relax in for the day. So this is what I mean. This will be a hidden gem in Poland. There are people that know about it, but there are not a lot of people that have been to it. All right, or even tourists that come to, for example, Poland, will know about bigger cities, but they won't know about these little attractions that are around Poland. All right, so this is what it means by hidden gems. All right, next one is contribute. So it says planes in particular contribute to carbon emissions. So contribute basically means that it adds to the carbon emissions. All right, so it's like give something in order to help or achieve or provide something, but in this case it is given something which helps carbon emissions or adds to carbon emissions, and in this case it will be pollution, which we learned in the last video. All right, so it will be polluting the earth in this case. All right, so that'll be the next one. Expected. So looking to the future, travel is expected to become even easier. Expected. So expected means that this is something that we think will happen, and not only think, but we strongly believe that this will happen. It's like we as I said, we expect this to happen. It's more likely to happen, right? So that is what the word expected means. It's more likely to happen. So look into the future. It is more likely to become. Look into the future. Travel is more likely to become even easier. So it is expected to become even easier. So instead of using a simple English all the time, to sound like you to sound like if you know what you're saying, and be a little bit more confident and make people think, oh yeah, he sounds good in his English, he knows what he's doing. Using some of these words: expected, contribute, scenic, well maintained, missed this one, well maintained. Using words like this: hassle, scenic, when you're explaining or expressing yourself about certain things. So instead of saying easy, you say convenient. So this is a little bit convenient. So you are able to use that, and you will sound a lot better, or sound a lot more like, oh, I know he knows. Oh, he knows what he's saying. She knows what she's saying. So if you use these words, it can help you when you're expressing yourself. All right. Now, then in our class, what I would normally go through would be conversation questions about how has travel become easier in recent years? Have you ever booked a last minute flight? Where did you go? And I'm a person that likes to book. When I was younger and I traveled by myself, I loved booking last minute flights because I hardly had money. So when I had the money, I go on trips. But the older you get, you realize you have to plan these things a little bit more, especially when you have more responsibilities, like you have maybe bought a house, you have car, and maybe you have payments to make. You can't just decide, oh, I'm going on a trip. Now you have to make sure that you take care of these things before you go on your trip. All right. So when I was younger, I was very, I would say, spontaneous, meaning that I would just think of something and I was like, let's do it. But now that I'm older and I have a little bit more responsibilities, I cannot just do last minute trips like I used to do in the past. So I have totally changed from there. All right. How do you think affordable flights have changed the way people travel? I do think affordable flights have changed the way that people travel. For example, in my case, spontaneous flights. But because the flight is affordable, it's like, oh, I can go and do this here and come back. Also, I think more people now are able to have more experiences traveling because they didn't have a flight. Flying was something that which was seen as pretty expensive. So now that we have more low cost, affordable flights, it is better in that way because a lot more people are able to have the experience of travel. All right. Seeing I live in Poland and I'm having a student from Poland, the question 9 we had was, how do open borders in Europe make travel easier for tourists? So I changed it to, how does it make it easier for you? So as she had said, it makes it easier for her because now she can go to countries. And funny enough, what she said to me was, it is cheaper to go from Poland to Italy than to go to another part of Poland. So she can pay 100 zloty, which is about $20, and go and take a 2 to 3 hour flight from one country to the next, than to put gas in her car and drive the same distance. All right, so it's crazy that way. So open borders makes it so much easier because you just get on a flight. You don't have to worry about passports. You don't have to worry about certain things because it's all a part of the European Union. Right? And even in some cases, there's something called Schengen area. All right, so you don't need to worry about a passport in this area. You can travel between it. And another thing is, for example, road trips or taking the train. You just get on a train. You don't have to always worry about someone checking your passport, and especially saying that that is usually a very important document, that sometimes you don't want to be traveling long trips and have those important documents on you. So saying that you do not have to travel with a passport because of the open borders is very easy for people to travel in Europe. Then we talked about advantages and disadvantages. Now, for those who may not understand what the word advantage and disadvantage means, these are opposites first. So how the easiest way that I can think about it is plus and minus. So what are the advantages? Advantages are things that are pluses, are things that add to you, and disadvantages are things that you do not like or things that take from you, right? So what are the advantages and disadvantages of budget airlines? So for example, so I would say an advantage of a budget airline would be that you can have an affordable flight or cheap flight. You can have an affordable flight. And the thing that I would say would be a disadvantage is sometimes with these affordable flights, you may have a very bad service, or sometimes the seats are so close that it can be a little bit uncomfortable, right? So that is what I would say about that. So then the last question I went through here with her, and last question we'll do today is, what was the best travel experience you've had in Europe, and why was it memorable? Now, she had told me that her best experience in Europe was a girls' trip, and I left it there. As a guy, I left it there. Even though it's a very interesting topic to go into, I left it there. But for me, the best travel experience I've had in Europe has been going to Czech Republic. I would say it is a very beautiful country. The part that I saw was Prague, and I went there around the Christmas market, New Year's time. So it was a very interesting and good experience. And at that time, I had a friend that was living in Prague. So we went to visit him and his girlfriend at the time, and then we came back to Poland. So it was a very nice experience to go there with people that were living there. So basically locals, because it's always nice to travel around any place you go to with locals. And then we were able to have a very good experience. We were there for New Year's, so we were able to experience the Prague Christmas market. There's something that I've never experienced until I came to Europe, the Christmas markets, which are usually a very interesting thing to see. So Christmas market, and then the fireworks shows. Now it is totally different. And in here in Europe, from what I'm seeing, is that people put on their fireworks shows. Well, coming from Barbados, and when I lived in America, it was the city or the country or certain companies doing the fireworks shows. It wasn't us doing the fireworks shows, but ourselves. So it was crazy. And in Czech Republic, and I saw it in Poland as well, is that people have the fireworks, and from the time, because the sun starts to set around 4 o'clock, everyone just starts to go crazy with the fireworks. So imagine from 4 p.m. all the way up to 6 or 7 o'clock in the next morning. That's how crazy it is in certain parts of Europe when it comes to fireworks, right? So that is what it will be. That will be why it was memorable for me, because I went to the Christmas market, and also it was the craziest fireworks experience I've ever had. So this would have been the topic I went through with my student. Very enjoyable topic with them. Had lots of laughs, had lots of fun, and I think she started to understand a lot of the stuff. And when I think about it, there's nothing else I can add here. But Let me just go over a recap of a few words which I think may need explaining again. Will be accessible, easy to reach or use. Then we have affordable, not expensive, and cheap. So I shop at H&M because it's so affordable. It's so, instead of saying it's so cheap, you sound a little bit more like, oh, it's so affordable, right? Then next one, I would say convenient, meaning easy, that something can be easy. And then the next one here, hassle, meaning like something like a problem. Avoid the problems of airports, avoid the struggles, the headaches of being in the airport. All right, I have to take off my shoes, put them in this box, put my laptop, take my laptop out of my bag. I have to take all my, oh my God, my phone. Make sure I'm not wearing any jewelry. Oh my God, why? So this would be the hassles of airports, the problems, the struggles, the difficult situations. And then if you have to go to secondary screening, they are going to unpack your whole bag. What is this? What is that? What is this? Right? So the hassle of airports. And honestly, if anyone has ever been and had that problem in the airport, you guys can drop it in the comments and talk about it, because I bet there are many people that have been through things like this. So this word hassle is talking about the struggle or problems, right? Well maintained is talking about how well you take care of something. Contribute, adds, right? Expect, meaning that it is more likely to happen. This is what I believe, I expect, I know this will happen, right? So travel is believed to become even easier. Travel is likely to become even easier. All right, so we're gonna stop here for today in this video. And if anyone has gotten any value from this video, you guys can like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I know school has just started back, so these things can be very important when you're learning them, especially in your writing. You can use these words in your writing and wow your teachers, or make them question if you're using ChatGPT. So these are things that you can do to help with increasing your vocabulary. And if you want, you can go through the reading as well. So you can pause the video, go through the reading, make sure that you understand all the words, or even test and see if you're pronouncing the words correctly. After then listen to my pronunciation, and then you can go through it as well. And then if there's anyone that would want English classes as well, you guys can give me a message on my website, stefaneglish.com.pl. And hopefully I can have this class with you. So I'm going to stop here for now for today, and I would love to see you guys all in the next video. That's bye from me for now. Take care, everyone.